Okay, there we go. Okay, so it is, we're going to talk about Cloud CMA. And the reason I love Cloud CMA, like I was mentioning, is because I love to be interactive. And a lot of times when you go to a listing appointment, your clients are like, oh yeah, this house looks, I know this house, it's down the street, but my house is better. I have more upgrades, or I have this, that, or the other, which could all be true. But here, with being interactive, they're able to see and just by simply touching, and they can tell, what the difference is of the home inside, compared to theirs. So that's why I really love it. They do side-by-side comparisons. They give percentages of the difference of square footage, of the lot size, so you can make any adjustments that you need to regarding price. So let's go ahead and get into it. I'm going to show you. It's to be honest, it's really super easy to do. You just have to feel comfortable and go for it. So here is when you log into the MLS. Okay, this is what it looks like. I'm sure you guys are all familiar with this. So what you're going to do is you're just going to go into your search screen. You have a buyer. I'm just going to pretend my buyer, my seller is calling me. They live at 13114 Sycamore Avenue in Chino. So Mr. Jones is calling and wants to know more or less, what the value of his property is. So the first thing I'm going to do, obviously, is go into my realist tax, and then I'm going to pull the comps. And then I always confirm with the client as well, because sometimes what's in the tax could be, could vary to what's actual in the home. So I'll pull it up and say, okay, I show that it's a 3-bedroom, 2-bath. Tell me a little bit about your home. Have you done any upgrades? What have you done, and stuff like that. So then they'll tell me, this, that, or the other, and then I'll compare it to whatever it is that I find on the taxes as far as size and bedrooms and baths. And then I'm going to go ahead and put that in here. So to do a search, which I already did it, so I'm just going to go back just so that way it makes it easier and we don't have to go back. But this is basically what I did. The criteria I put in here was, coming soon, active under contract, pending, and closed. I put the zip code of the property, and then single family, standard listing, since it's a standard sale. And then I put more or less what the living area is, and then 4 bedrooms, 2 baths. That's kind of where, where it is. I like to go on the map personally, because I like to get the homes that are the closest to it. Because obviously there's, Chino's a big city, but you have to keep in mind, now every appraiser is different. And I think we're all realizing that in the market that we're in. And so it's so important that you pay mind to that, because, and I'll give you an example really quick. So I had an agent call me last week and said, Sonia, can you help me with comps? This is what I came out with. And it was in Norco. So you figure the 15 freeway is here. Norco's on the east and the west of the 15. So the home was actually on the east side. So when you pull up the homes on the east side, they're about $25,000 to $35,000 cheaper than the homes on the west side. So there was comps in the immediate area on, honestly, within a half a mile to a mile from the property, in question. But if you go to the other side of the freeway, your comps are, like I said, here she was about 575 in value. You cross over, same home and everything else, you're about 625, 635. So the agent was trying to get her these comps on this side. And so I was just letting her know that you have to really, like I said, every appraiser does things differently, but an appraiser is typically, if there's comps in that community, surrounding like properties, they're going to pull those before they go further. That's most likely what they're going to do. So you just have to be careful, because like I said, her seller was like, well, there's homes in Norco selling for this price, they're the same square footage. Do you see what I'm saying? So you just want to be very careful, and you want to explain to your client, you know, obviously what more or less the appraiser is going to do. So that way they have an understanding. So anyhow, just wanted to kind of give you guys that information. But here, just so you guys know, here is the comps that I pulled up. And like I said, if I delete this shape here, hold on a second. If I delete this, if you see, look at, there's homes all, you know, there's homes all, you know, in different locations in different areas. So that was the reason why I decided I was just going to, you know, work with those in that area, because more than likely those are the comps that, you know, the appraiser is going to use. So that's how I did that. And then, so these are my results. And then I selected, like I said, the ones that were the closest to it. At that point, once you select the properties that you're going to use in your, you know, in your analysis, you're going to select Cloud CMA there at the bottom. That on that blue toolbar, it says Cloud CMA. Now, this is what it looks like once you know, transfer it. Here is your client's name. So we'll just put Mr. Jones. And then here's where you know, put the property address of the home that you are comparing everything to. So there's the house. Here is, you know, the information. And then down here, if you notice, this is where the listings go, where the MLS numbers get imported. If you didn't have the MLS numbers and you just wanted to do something really quick, you could do that by selecting this one over here. Because if you notice, it says or. So you can just select this, and then it'll give you 10, you know, current listings similar within the last 6 months. Personally, I prefer to pick them myself, because this is just, you know, it gets stuff all over the place. So you might have a home that's, you know, 2,500 square feet, which is a lot bigger than this one. So you want to get stuff that's as close and comparable to it as possible. So once you're here, you're going to select fetch listings. And it's just going to basically pull up your listings. And this is what it looks like. So it shows you, obviously, red is sold, green is available, and yellow is pending or under contract. So, and then this here is your subject property. So it just shows you more or less, you know, the comps for the homes that are around, you know, the one that you're doing. And then if you go down here, you can make adjustments if you need to. If you see it says detail and adjustments, if you wanted to, you could do that. Let's just say one of them has a pool. So because it has a pool, you want to, let's just say, go in there and adjust it. I don't know, maybe depending if it's just a pool, maybe take out 10,000. If it's a pool and spa, maybe, you know, take out another amount, just depending upon you. You can do that. You do not have to do that, but that it allows you to do that in the event you want to be a little bit more precise. You can do that. So once you've done, you can customize it. Go here, and there's so many different content that you can add to your CMA. You know, your resume, a cover letter about your company, what is a CMA, how to contact you. This is all information, you know, you can select. You don't have to. You can, if you wanted to delete it, you can, all you have to simply do is hit that. Click on it, and then you just hit the red and it'll take it out. So if I don't want to talk about, you know, commission, why use a real estate professional, you know, depending if the home is vacant, then obviously I'm not going to talk about, you know, they don't need a moving checklist because they've already moved out, but maybe I'll include the stage in your home, because that's, you know, possibility, you know, that's something that they might want to do. I'll take out the seller's net sheet because I like to incorporate my own. And I don't like to use theirs. So again, you can go here, and then if there's anything that you want to add, you just simply hit the plus, and then it'll take it over to the side. Here on your CMA report, you can change your theme. Right now I have modern red, blue, and black. You can switch it, you know, to any other colors. And then if you wanted to brand it to Remax, you would just click the Remax there and it would brand it for you. Layout, you can choose the layout, how you want it to look. I mean, you can get really specific fonts that they use, and if there's a cover sheet, so you can really decide, what it is that you want when you're making it. Let's see.
Jennifer said, how do you obtain your sellers? Sorry. How do you obtain your
So
seller's knit sheet?
I
Extra?
actually do them myself, and that's another class we're gonna do. I do them myself on car. I know a lot of people like to go through escrow, and you have to remember that it's not gonna be 100%. It's an estimate. Because remember, what I tell my sellers is I'm basing it off what you're telling me. So I'm only giving you the fees of what it costs to sell. Now, any money that you owe in taxes, in any liens, maybe solar or anything that you've done on your mortgage, because remember, some people have done modifications, and so they see their payoff as 100,000, let's just say, but they modified many years ago, and there's a portion that is kind of silenced per se, and it's not showing. But when you get a payoff, all of a sudden they owe $50,000 more, and so they're like, wait a minute, what's going on here? So you just have to really keep in mind that you're basing it off whatever they tell you. So I like to do my own estimates, and I have a template for it. It's pretty much templated because it's usually the same. I've never had an issue where, knock on wood, where it's been completely off. So it's pretty on point. If anything, you give or take a few $100. So it's never where it's like, oh my gosh. And the only time it's been different is if the seller's amount that they gave me for payoff or something like that was different. That's when it changes. So, but like I said, we're going to be doing another class on that. So that would, hopefully that'll help you guys. So then the next thing you would do is just click publish. Okay. And then it publishes your report. But before we do that, before we publish, I want to show you guys, if you don't use Cloud CMA, you need to go over here all the way to the right where my picture is. You might not have a picture yet if you haven't set yours up, but you need to click on there. And you need to go through each one of these pages to make sure that you have your everything you need in there set up. So just so you know, you can customize pages. So meaning you can add your own pages. Like here, like let's just say Jennifer, or I know Gabriella likes to go through escrow, Brenda. So if you guys like doing that, and let's say you go to escrow and you want to add a form, you can add it here, or you can add, anything here. But I added my custom pages that I add are my resume, a seller's roadmap, and then also an action plan, because I like to include these when I send a PDF only, not when I'm doing a live version. This is when I send a PDF only, and I can show you guys the difference. When I send a PDF, it's usually because I know my client's not savvy. So it just kind of depends, but these are the things I'll print when I go into my listing appointment, and I leave them with them. So like I said, we're going to go into that as well when we do our listing presentation, but I just wanted to show you that this is kind of where I keep them as well. And you can add any type of a custom page, and you can name it whatever you want. So this is a great place for that. Here is where I put, if you guys have any, if you're affiliated with any of these, which is Rated Agent ID, Reach 150 Email, Real Satisfied, or Zillow, you would put your Zillow screen name there, so all of your reviews get transferred on to your CMAs. So now when you're printing out your CMA, your reviews are on there as well. So you can always add that if you wanted to. And then let's see, obviously add your MLS credentials. You need to add that. Those are your, what you use to log in and what MLS you're with. And then here's just your contact information. What do you want to appear at the bottom of every page of the MLS, once the Cloud CMA papers, once they're printed. So you can decide, you can choose right here. It allows you to select anything you want to be placed down there. So again, once you log in, if you haven't, make sure that's number one. You need to make sure you do that first. Upload your photo and complete your profile as much as possible, just as I have down here. Okay, so that's what you want to do. Now, once you're done with that, like I said, you're going to publish your CMA by selecting publish, right? So here we are. Now that it's published, this is where we are. So when you're here, you have the option of viewing it as a PDF or viewing it live. So remember, this is what I'm talking about. When I view it as a PDF, it's just going to be a PDF. So I can't, tap on it or do anything at all. But here is the live. So if I select view live, let's see, once you select, it's going to take a minute to load up. Let's see. So the live is something that I like to do in front of them on my iPad. You can do it from any device except your cell phone. It would be too small. But you can do it from whatever device that you use. But just imagine, okay, you guys see it on your screen. You guys are sitting in front of your seller and you pull up this market analysis. Now, agent resume, you can start there if you want. You can skip that. You don't have to go into that at that point. What I do is I actually go straight to the comps. So if you notice, I'm going to go here where it says 11 comparable homes comps. I'm going to select that. This is where I go. So this is the property of where I'm at with the seller. So his home is a 4-bedroom, 2-bath, approximately 1,392 square feet, and the lot size is 7,800. Now it doesn't have the garage spaces on here, but if I wanted to, and I'm there, I can add 2 garage spaces. And this particular property, there's been an addition to the home. It's no longer 1,392. It's now 1,700 square feet. So I can update it. If I have a photo of the home, I can actually upload the photo as well. Okay, so here what it's doing is it's comparing these homes to these. So this home is exactly the same, 4-bedroom, 2-bath. This home is 2% larger. Lot size is 8% less. And this one has 1 extra garage. So again, you just go side by side. And let's just say it tells you the one that's the closest. So this house was the most expensive. If you notice, it tells you that on the top. And then it tells you this one closest to you. So this one would be the most comparable, to his. So I'm going to tell him, well, this one was a little bit smaller. The lot size was also a little bit smaller. And this one actually sold in 5 days, and it was listed for $575 and sold for $580. So now let's compare yours to this one. So if I tap on the photo, it now gives me even more details about it. So it's on a cul-de-sac, which obviously is a plus. And then I can look at it like this and say, well, look at it had fresh paint. Maybe it had, newer floors. It looks like it has newer windows. Kitchen may or may have not been remodeled. It looks like it has granite countertops. So this is a way for you to go over it with your client so they can see and compare, like, okay, if this one sold for $580 and mine actually, has, it's nicer than this, maybe I have the pool, they didn't. It just gives you a kind of an idea of more or less what you can, list the property for. So that's why I like this. And then again, it does give you the option down here to add adjustments. So again, if it had the pool or if it doesn't have the pool, those are the things you can, use in there to adjust. So, and all you do is go back and select back, and same thing, you go here. Okay, this one looks like this is a great comparable, same thing. You go back and say, okay, yeah, this is more like the condition of mine, or maybe, or maybe it's not. So let's see. Is there? You're welcome. Okay. And so it just gives it, like I said, a side-by-side comparison. And then if you go down here where it says average pricing, once you go over the comps, you can go to the average pricing and you can tell them on the 8 homes that have closed, the highest was 600, the average was 567, 472. and this was the lowest. And then days on the market, and then this is your averages. Pending is a lot higher than what has closed and what's currently active as well. Okay, so you can kind of gauge it by doing that. And then you just go over price per square foot. And then, like I said, what I love about it is you just click on it and it tells you where it's at, like gives you the information as to where it's at. Here's the square footage and the price that it's sold per square foot. Okay. Time to sell. Homes were average 7 days on the market. And this was the average list price. Everybody got more than what they wanted on in this particular area by 103%. That's a lot. And online variations. And then what this does is sometimes it's not, accurate. I usually don't use this, but for whatever reason, it just shows you like why, Zestimates are good or not good to use, because there's the variation of them is so different. So that's kind of what that is. But like I said, you don't have to use that slide if you don't want to. If you put it in a suggested price, because let's say you already had put in one, that would be something you can put in. Then it would show here. And then this is again just giving you the facts of it. And if you would put right here, so here's like more or less their estimated proceeds. So if you said the sales price is $595, let's just say you said that, and they owe $250, then this is more or less what obviously there's still closing fees, but this is just so they know, okay, this is what your equity is. And then you can go from there. And then again, this is just whatever you included. Here, talking about, the commission, talking about, the pricing, why it's so important to price the home, how the days on market affect, pricing and stuff like that. And then you just go, this will take you back to the home. But like I said, for me, I think this is really nice because they're able to click right back, because a lot of times they're like, wait, take me back to this page or take me back here, do this or do that. So that way they can get a feel for, what it is and kind of, whatever pricing that you guys discussed, you have facts here to back up why you believe, whatever pricing you guys are discussing is good. And it just shows, like I said, the presentation is really nice and it just comes off a lot more professional. Because they see that you're giving them this presentation. They don't know that it was just a few clicks and you were able to get it done. It looks like it was, a lot of information and it was put together, very time consuming. So let me go back here real quick. So this here, like I was mentioning, you can share it. You can copy the PDF link or the copy. Sometimes I will copy the live version. Like I said, if my client is savvy and I want to, I want them to be like, oh, wow, this is really neat and excited about our meeting. So I will send them the link, especially if they have an iPhone, because it shows up really nicely on their phone. But here, if I select view PDF, this is what my PDF looks like, right? My cover sheet, resume, talking about Remax champions, what's a CMA. Again, you don't have to put all of this stuff in there. You can take it out. Typically, when I go to a listing appointment, I take this page, the map of the comparables, and summary of the pending and sold. And that's really all I take. I don't print anything else out because I do the presentation online. Because just imagine, look how many pages there are. This is a lot of information. And I just think it shows up nicer opposed to looking through it when on printed paper. It just shows up a lot nicer, on your computer when you're, doing the presentation. Okay. So does anyone have any questions in regards to that? Does anybody have any thoughts, input, ideas?
I had a question. Well, obviously, no, I think I just answered my own question because the live link, you have to have the internet capability to be able to log in and click the house to show the pictures. Or if I save it on my computer, will it still show it?
No, you have, you need internet access.
I know. Okay. I only need an iPad. I keep saying that. I need
Yeah,
to get
no,
one.
like I said, I can't stress it enough. I mean, I know it's an investment, it is. But it pays for itself
Yeah.
over and over again.
No,
So
I'm gonna have to get one. I got this computer not too long ago and it's touchscreen. I'm all, why didn't I get the iPad if I would have just known before I bought this darn thing? But it's okay. I mean,
yeah, no, it's just like I said, you can do it on your computer, but you're gonna need to log into their Wi-Fi
yeah.
and you're gonna need to, just, be able to do it from there, which you can, but
I just think it looks so much professional when you're just ready to go. It just goes like seamlessly. You know what I mean?
right,
So
yeah,
I don't
you
know.
already have everything ready. And like I said, we're gonna do another class about your whole presentation. So that way you see how everything is just together and it's seamless, when you have it all together.
Are we doing that one like a listing presentation next week to follow
I
this
don't know. I
one?
have to ask, Jessica has a calendar.
Oh, okay.
So, but yeah, no, like I said, everyone that when I do it, they're impressed by it. They really, really like it because like I said, everyone else shows up with paper and is like, here's your CMA, you know what I'm saying? So it's just a little bit different, and it kind of comes off a little bit more, you're more savvy, you took more time. So there's just a lot of pluses to it. And you saw it's not hard. Like it's just, simple taps. You want to obviously get it set up, put your photo, put your information and everything in there. So that way everything populates. But once you've done that, everything else is pretty, just tap, tap, tap. And then, you pick it and it comes together for you. So, but yeah, it's really not, it's a really nice touch.
Okay,
And then just so you guys know too, let me go back here really quick.
while you're doing that, so
Go
I
ahead.
did email everybody a calendar for the month, and it has all the classes that we have. So I emailed it to you. Look out for that email. And then I do send you guys a schedule every week. So every week on Monday, I'll be sending you the schedule for that week. But just so you guys know right now, next week is the RPA class. The 24th will be the listing agreement and the estimated net sheet. And then the 31st is going to be all counters. So, but let me know if you guys don't get the calendar, I can resend it to you.
Yes, and so I also wanted to share with you guys this. So when you guys do this, if you notice on your left-hand side, you can also, it says never miss a comp that affects this home selling potential. Obviously, it's so important for us to know what's happening in the market around us. Typically, what I would do is I would set up in the MLS a radius so that way I know, if there's anything else that let's say there's something listed. So once it goes pending, sells, or becomes available. But here, they actually allow you to set up alerts. So if you select set up alerts, it's going to keep you in the loop and send you an email every time there's a new listing or something comes up in that particular area. So again, you're the expert. You want to make sure that you guys are taking advantage of every free tool possible, because all of this does is help you. So that way you're not in there having to search. Maybe you might miss something. This is going to tell you every day, like this was just listed. And it's real time. So it's not like it just comes out in the morning. It's as soon as the home hits the market, you get an alert, or as soon as something changes, you get the alert. So just make sure you guys do that. And again, it's every time you do a CMA, you can set up the alerts around that property. Okay, so that's another bonus for using Cloud CMA. The other thing you can also use, it's just not for sending comparables to a seller. A lot of times when a buyer is looking as well, they want to know what the value of a home is too. They want, hey, what should we offer? What are you thinking? I go in there and do it for them too, like this, so they can see where the market's going and how people are getting more than what they're asking for. This is also a great tool to share with buyers. And you can also do like buyer tours. There's property flyers, there's different things here. So you guys can go through this. I highly recommend you spend the time. This is a free service, we pay for it through our MLS dues and everything else, but other than that, there's no cost for it. So, and I really love just the way everything is. And so then, and then the other thing is Homebeat. Homebeat is another, this one you have to pay for. This one is not included. So I've used it when they do free trials. But basically it's a CMA that goes out to your, whoever you put in there, whatever clients you have in there, your database, it goes out to them you set it up. It can go out every month. It can go out every, 3 months, 6 months, a year, but they send updates to your clients, keeping them well informed of what the values are of their homes and what's going on around their house. So that's another option that
Sonia.
that you can, another tool you can use as well, if you guys are
Sonia.
interested. Yes.
Josie asked, alerts will be given to the buyer or just the agent?
No, just the agent. They only alert you, so you know what's going on.
Okay.
Okay, so let's see. Okay, so does anyone have any other questions that we can answer?
So when you go to a listing presentation, you have your listing presentation and the cloud CMA. So you have two different things that you're presenting.
Yes, I don't have a lot of stuff. Like I'm not, because I know most of it is about talking, you're going to be interactive, but the cloud CMA is all strictly, this is where they're going to focus in on, because this affects the value and the pricing and the timing and everything else for their home. So that is definitely something that, we go over. And then the presentation is more just about what we're going to do to get it sold, just our marketing efforts and stuff like that. But yeah, so we do both. But it's quick. It goes by so fast. I don't saturate them with a lot of information that's unnecessary. What I like to do is show them that, and I think it sells itself, opposed to pick me because I'm this, I'm the best, I'm this. You see what I'm saying? I don't really go in that way. I just go in showing them the facts, like this is what it is, and this is what we do to get you here. You know what I'm saying? That type of thing. But yeah, but we're gonna, like I said, we're gonna get into that as well, so that way you guys can see, and we can actually even, we should be in our office hopefully in the next couple weeks, and everything looks good. And I'm excited because we have our training area that we're getting ready for, so we'll be able to do our trainings all together. And I just think it's a little bit more intimate, and we can do like practice, role playing. I'm like, what is that called again? We can practice doing the presentations, so that way we know we need it, it's good for us. So I think that's gonna, help everybody to get over some of their fears and stuff like that, of what if they ask me this, what if they ask me that. So just be ready, to be, to answer those questions. But I'm telling you, when I go in and I have this, and most of the questions are already answered, there's not really, the one question is, when do we get started, or how do we get started, or something like that, opposed to, anything else really, because it's all laid out for them, how it works and the timing and everything else. So I really hope you guys utilize it, try it, try it even on yourselves, do comms, just try. And like I said, it's a great thing also right now. Like I told you, we have to be extraordinary for our buyers as well, just not the sellers. Before it was like, man, it's so hard to get a listing. Now it's so hard to get a buyer in escrow, and to keep them loyal to you. So definitely, I'm telling you, got to show up a little bit different. And because not everybody does, just those little extra things for them. So make sure that you guys are, doing as much as you can. It's more than a full-time job right now, for sure. So, well, if you guys don't have any other questions, but we're going to start using it, right? Okay, guys, well, have a great day. Thank you guys so much for joining, and just watch out for Jessica's emails and her calendars and all the fun stuff she loves doing. Right, Jessica?
I love it.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. Thank you, guys.
Okay, you're welcome. You guys have a great day.
Bye, everyone.
Bye, everyone.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.